Hi guys, how are you all?
Oh, great.
How have things been since the last time I was here?
Oh, they're going really good.
Okay.
She's lying.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, can you tell me a little bit what you mean by that?
The kid's spraying paint all over the walls. I kid you not, I seen, I don't know how in the world he done it, but he skipped school, and he was on the side of the road
You
spray
just have
painting on.
issues. You just have, yes.
I have issues.
Okay, so it sounds like you're having some issues with Jose, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm surprised he ain't doing drugs, to be honest with you.
He's not doing drugs.
I smelled something the other night. I swore
It's all in your head.
Okay. Well, so sounds like you're having a couple of behavioral issues with him, right?
Yeah. School called and said that he wasn't at school the other day, and I know very well I dropped him off.
Okay, so he's skipping classes?
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's something.
He comes
going on.
home now.
Well,
just not
there's
there.
nowhere else to go.
Well, it sounds like you're both very split about the options, so. Why don't you tell me something positive about what's going on with him?
He's a really good boy.
Okay.
He really is. I just think he has just problems connecting with other people sometimes. And, you know, and he's been through a lot. He
Yeah.
really has. He doesn't always talk to me about it, but
Yeah.
he really is a good boy.
And keep in mind that you're his third foster home, so he does have a couple of, probably some trauma back behind him, so. Why don't you tell me something positive about him?
Okay. I mean, we go out there, he talks to me for a little bit, but other than that, it's just, you can't get nowhere with him. You know, it's like you start trying to get him to do something.
Well, maybe he would if you wouldn't raise your voice to him.
Raise my voice.
Yes, you do. You have a bad habit.
Okay, so it sounds like you guys are building on the communication, but there's also some skills there that might be lacking. Have these problems been going on since you got the foster child in your care?
Honestly, since not really until probably about a month after.
Oh, really?
Well, before he was around the house. He never really went anywhere. You know, he just kind of hung around. He helped me.
Okay.
You know, chores. I guess you can say wash dishes, trash, that kind of thing. Watch TV, and just came to himself. He never really hung out with anybody. And then he got in school and.
Oh, okay.
Just kind of, you know, he's just kind of been acting a little different.
So these issues have been happening since he got into school? Okay. Well, can you all tell me a time, or maybe what was going on during that time before these issues really started?
Well, every day I'd drop him off at school before I go to work.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, he would be at home, you know, and he didn't want to talk very much, but he would talk just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like, no, he has no drive to him, no drive to do good, no drive to say, I've been trying to help him out, but it's just not working.
And has that just been recently, or has that been the entire time?
Since he's been at school.
Okay, so it sounds like school might be an issue?
I don't think it's the school that's an issue. I don't know. I mean, he's a really good kid. He really is. And he does try. He does. I think Michael kind of just gets a little tough on him sometimes. He just looks too much.
When I was on lunch break the other day, I know it was him. It had if it wasn't him, it was the same size kid, same jacket, same everything, spray painting on the side of the house.
He comes home every time.
Well, I know he comes home.
Every day he comes home.
Okay.
You know he comes home.
Well, yeah, he can walk home. You can ride the bus. I mean, it's possible he can get me on the bus, you know.
Okay.
It's neat.
So it sounds like the truancy issues are for sure something that we need to work on. And maybe we want to look further into what's going on in school too, if these issues have just started since school. So what I like to do with the families that I work with is set up goals for them. And we do these in a timely manner so that you can see the progress of the goals. So I think the truancy issue might be something that we want to work on as a goal. Does that sound okay to you too?
Yes.
Michael should get rid of him.
Okay.
Michael. Stop it. You know he's such a jerk sometimes.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's okay. Well, and a lot of times foster families who are within their first child coming through, they have split views about things. It happens like that. So it is a very difficult challenge taking on a child that is not necessarily yours. So it's understandable. So why don't we work together to set up a goal for him? So maybe we want to look at getting him in some extracurricular activities within the next month or so and seeing how that works out with them. Would that be something that you all are interested in?
I can, like sports or stuff like that.
Just something to avert his attention.
I asked him about football and baseball to see if he was interested. He said, "No, I'm good, thank you." That's all he said.
Okay.
But every time you talk to him, it always comes to an argument with you.
I never
That's the only
argue.
thing you do.
Okay, so it looks like both of you have very different outlooks on how you're seeking to parent Jose. But I do like to ask, do you all feel that you're having any issues within your own relationship?
Well,
Let's go one at a time so both of us can get so you both can get your opinions heard. So why don't you start out?
Well, as I was saying, Michael does have some issues, I guess you can say, with controlling his anger. Well, I wouldn't say like he's angry or vicious all the time, but he's just his attitude about the situation.
Okay.
Instead of trying to resolve something in a good manner, he just kind of takes it up too much of a notch, if you want to say.
How do you feel about that?
she's crazy.
Okay.
She blames me for everything. If something's not done right, I work my butt off. I can't help it. I'm tired when I come in. Sometimes I work 12, 16-hour shifts. I mean,
Still, you don't have to have such an attitude, especially towards Jose, and you know that all this stuff that's been going on is not easy on me either, and especially when you act that way towards me too.
Yeah.
It's not helping the situation.
Well, it sounds like you get quite a few hours of work, right? And I could understand that you'd be very wore out by the time you got home at night. So having to deal with truancy issues when you get home is probably far out of the question for you, right? And how do you feel about that?
I understand that he's tired and everything. It's just that when he puts it off on us, and then the whole, like you said, we're new at this.
Yeah.
We really are. And I mean, Jose is a great kid. He really is. I've been saying that a lot, during this whole thing. But it's just not helping with. I think if Michael was a little more patient,
Okay.
and I understand, Jose does get into some trouble. He really does. But I just think if Michael had a better attitude about it, I would have a better attitude towards it all myself, and things would be a little smoother.
Okay. I think something that would work out very well for maybe us all to work on is looking at healthier coping skills for when you're coming home from work and you're all stressed out and you already know that you're going to come home to this. And instead of maybe lashing out, we find a better way to deal with the problem. Does that sound like something
I
that's
don't lash
happening?
out. She's the one that comes after
Yes,
me.
you do.
And that's
I
how
never
I
come
get
after
after
you. The only time I get on to you is whenever you get into Jose, and you're just overly, just like I said, even little stuff he does.
But
It's nothing.
I promise you, there's pot somewhere, and I just can't stand
He's
it.
not into drugs. He's not into drugs. He might not be the best kid, but he is not into drugs. He's not into anything bad, except for, he does a few things, but he's not a bad kid. And you need to quit acting like he is.
Alright, Michael, let me ask you a question. If in your situation right now, a miracle were to happen, what would it look like?
Well, Jose would be very communicative. He would be outgoing. He'd be one of the people that is out of the bunch, like out of 10 kids, or out of 100 kids, he would be the one that stands out more than just the loner kid over to the side.
Okay.
That's what I want of him. I want him to stand out, be productive of himself, believe in himself. I know he's got, what's the word?
Potential?
Yeah,
Yeah.
potential. I know he's got potential. And I just want him to do the best that he can, so he don't wind up out on the streets like I think he's going to head to. Because the way it looks like right now, it's not very promising.
Well, that's the way you see it is a very promising and positive outlook. Ashton, does that sound like maybe what you would say if I were to ask you the same question?
Yes, it is. It's just, I think if Michael was more positive, like he, as he talks, I wish he would just be more, he wants the best for him, I think, but sometimes he doesn't see the glass I guess you can say he sees the glass more half empty than half full.
Okay.
So then he's more expectant in more areas and gets aggravated very quickly than he should.
Okay.
So, like I said earlier, it's just like that's where it's causing the whole
Do you
with
all-
us, and then
Do you tend to notice more defiance in him when you raise your voice than when you don't raise your voice?
Still don't listen. Still don't do anything. Yeah.
All right, so it sounds like we do definitely want to build up on the communication, not only between you two and Jose, but maybe between the both of you. Okay, so I think it would be good for us to all talk about maybe working on that communication and ways that we can do so. Would you all be interested in attending maybe parenting classes that have a lot to do to help out with newer foster families and helping out with their first kid?
maybe. What about you, Michael?
That'll be on day I'm off.
Okay, well, we can work around that, no problem. So if you're both okay with that, I'd like to set that up as one of your goals. So we will plan to attend another meeting with you all, probably within the next month sometime. But within that month's time period, I'd like to set you all up with a class and at least attend one class. Just go one session and bring Jose with you. And let all three of you just sit through the class and listen and absorb the information that you're getting. So if that's okay with you all, I'd like to set that up as one of your first goals. So your first goal was for us to get set up with you all taking some parenting classes. For the second goal, I think it would be really beneficial to look at maybe some activities to try to get Jose in, even though he has said that basketball and baseball weren't his favorites. Maybe we can look at like art classes or something like that. So I've got some pamphlets and some information in my office that I will give to you all, and maybe you can, and I've got some connections as well, that we can get Jose set up in and maybe try them and see if something like that might help him out with what he's experiencing. So does that sound all right to you all?
That'll be good.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll be fine. Anything we can do, you know. I really do care about him, and I know, he. I think it would be really good for him to get into something, especially to keep him busy and
You all are doing
be with
great.
other kids.
You really are doing great, especially how much you care for him to help him out right now. So
Thank you.
So I'll help you all get that set up. And I also think it would be very beneficial, not only for him, but for you all to attend some of these activities as well and get involved in what he's doing.
Michael, the only thing is, Michael just kind of has a busy work schedule.
Okay, and that's understandable, yeah.
It's kind of a tough thing, that part is,
Okay.
I'm working
I try.
Yeah,
I'll try to be there.
that's understandable. So maybe we can look at finding the activities that work out with your schedule and not only just his, or even maybe seeing if there's a possibility that you can get a day off work or get off a little bit early so that you can go with him. So we want to look at that as well. Okay.
I think that would help you and Jose to actually understand each other a little more too, if you guys spend more time together.
Of course, yeah, especially building on that communication. That's what we want to, you all already have a good building block started already. We want to build on that and make it stronger so that later on, if anything comes down the road, you've got something that you have got solid and ready to work on. So, okay. Well, is there anything else that you all would like to talk about while we're in our session?
Not really.
Okay.
Just, if we can get the pamphlets and everything.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
We'll be happy to get any help we can.
So, if you both feel like you've had everything that you wanted to say gotten out there and everything off your chest, I think it's about time for us to end our meeting. But I will hook you up with those connections and get you some of the pamphlets for the information. And I think it would be great to start working on building the communication and finding some other activities for Jose to get started in. So, with that being said, I will schedule our next appointment and let you all know when it will be. So, I will bid you all adieu and you have a nice rest of your day.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.